Here I'm sitting in my favorite spot on this couch. I've decided to produce most of my videos sitting in this spot because I feel like the frequency of the spot brings me so much tranquility in my field. And not that it ever mattered where you sit in life, what placement you decide to be comfortable with is obviously a personal preference, and it has always been. And it's very, very clear to everybody and anybody on the face of this planet that the frequency that you sit in dictates your mood, that the frequency that you sit in dictates how your day progresses, that the frequency that you sit with will dictate the happiness that you hold, the sourness, the bitterness that will encompass you, that has encompassed you. That's all frequency. And as I sit and tell you that each and every soul on this planet should know this true fact, I can also point out the fact that not a lot of people in our frequency, in the frequency of Earth, in the frequency of Gaia, ever even think about the concept of frequency. But it's an unspoken truth that as your frequency drops, that's when you drop into a state of separation, into a state of anger, into a state of non encompassment, of guilt, of non love, of separation, into a separation state of hatred, of death, of deception, of stolen wives from our neighbors' porches, of stolen packages from our foes' mailboxes, of wars upon wars, of deceits within fields of deception. As you drop your frequency into a lower level of resonance, that is when you drop your frequency away from source consciousness and into the depths of despair. And I say this as a known fact, as a true energy, as no matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter how old you are, you unknowingly are able to tap into energy and frequency. And you may not consciously think about it as energy and frequency, but it is what it is. It is what it has always been. And conversely, as you raise your frequency into a level of coherence, you raise your frequency into a place of love, into a place of acceptance, into a place of consciousness that has decided that nothing else matters but the unity within and without your frequency field, that has allotted itself into the energy of forgiveness, into the energy of wholeness, into the energy of the encompassment of love, into the feeling of unity, into the feeling of coherence, and into the all within consciousness. And if I may take it a step too far, consciousness itself encompasses both low and high frequency, both ups and downs within this frequency as we travel through the scope of all of the emotions, all of the tranquility, all of the anger, all of the lust, all of the love, that all of the wars that I spoke of, that I speak of, that I touch base upon. And as we travel this rod of never-ending waves, this wave of never-ending defeats, this consciousness of never-ending encompassment of love and forgiveness has come to a precipice of dizziness that constantly shifts itself up and down, side to side, right to left. And as you are a light worker, and if you are a light worker, you will remember and you will perceive this energetic frequency as the feeling of home, as the feeling of wholeness, as the feeling of why you're here, as the realization steeps so deep within you that this darkness that you hold has always been a choice, has always been a deception field to steep so deeply within this perspective of the choice that you've made to shift down into this frequency field to experience the darkness. within and without your reality field, and to come upon the brightness and to shift to and fro within this rod that I speak of is the ultimate destination of life, is the ultimate destiny, is the ultimate experience that we've come to experience within this lifetime. My light workers, my people of humanity. And yeah, you may say, Genesis, it's a roller coaster. What have we done to ourselves? How is it possible that we could ever agree to hop on this roller coaster of life? And I'm here to tell you that there's no more exciting feeling to your oversoul, to source consciousness, to neutrality, to the point of this game than to witness, to behave, to believe, to descend down into the despairs of the darkness, and then to be able to find the light once more and come to a point of forgiveness, to come to a point of lessons learned within the darkness that brought about the greatest lessons that you will ever perceive to be true. There's no better excitement of allotment, of love, of tranquility, of forgiveness that can ever come about into our reality field without being able to project ourselves down into that darkness within this pole of our reality field that will tranquilize the brightness within, to be able to allow us to come to a realization that the brightness within and without our reality field has always been us this whole entire time. Within this roller coaster, without this roller coaster, within the tale that I speak of, within the complex emotions of the human psyche, within the wars upon wars of deception fields within our reality field, ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of this game had always been to come into a remembrance of who we've always been, of what we've always been, of the energetic frequency that we carry, and of the forgiveness that shall never be without who and what we've always been. And as you sit here and say, how can I forgive my neighbor who stole my package? How can I forgive that idiot that stole my wife? How can I forgive my wife that walked away from me? How can I forgive my mother that abandoned me? How can I forgive my father that never gave two bleeps about me? How can I forgive? And I'm here to tell you that that father who never gave two bleeps about you, that mother who abandoned you, that wife who walked away from you, that neighbor who stole your package has always been you in this reality field, within a different energetic scope, within a different energetic frequency, within a different portion of an energy scope that you've decided to drop down into at the beginning of this game, at the end of this game, in the middle of this game, that all is one, that all energy merges and flows into tranquility, out of tranquility, into darkness, into the light. Yet at the end of the day, with the encompassment of all these different portions and aspects of energetic frequency, all has forever archingly been a singularity of an entity, of an energy that comes into a neutrality perspective, spread out into the deception field of separation, of a separated state within you, within I, within the physicality of the separation that you sit in. And as you come into the realization that there might be truth to this, that my neighbor that I hate so much that stole my package could very well be living a double life as me in another lifetime, in another projection field, in another reality field, upsetting me in my body, in my reality field in this lifetime, so that I could come into the greatest forgiveness that I could ever be able to learn from an oversoul level of being able to fractal out these different pockets of energetic frequencies to come together in drama, to come together in war, to come together in love, to come together in forgiveness, to come together in greed, is the ultimate perception field within a separated state of coherence, is the brings the ultimate excitement to a frequency of source consciousness who always sits in forgiveness within the neutrality of what is. Because how can you not forgive portions and aspects of yourself that decided to mess with other portions and aspects of yourself, so that you could experience all from different angles and come into a perspective of forgiveness, as you've always been sitting in neutrality to begin with. And as we come into the remembrance of all that we've ever been as a singularity of an entity, as we ascend into the 5-dimensional frequency, ladies and gentlemen, that is what we have to look forward to. The drama of it all.